Hey, Broncos Country, close your eyes for a second and imagine our defense, which is already a true nightmare for opponents, turning into an NFL living legend. That's right. A crazy rumor is shaking mile high and leaving the Denver Broncos family buzzing. A trade that could change the fate of our team is being whispered through the league halls. Are the Broncos about to bring in one of the biggest stars in football? Or will we let go of a young talent who's winning our hearts? Hold on to your excitement, because this news will make you jump out of your seat. Let's dive headfirst into this talk and find out what's going on. Ready? Let's go! Broncos Country, the NFL offseason is hotter than the Colorado sun in July, and the Denver Broncos are right in the eye of the storm. A blockbuster rumor is swirling behind the scenes, and it could change everything for our team. According to hot sources, there's talk of a possible trade involving our edge rusher, Nik Bonitto, and the Dallas Cowboys monster, Micah Parsons, who just dropped a bombshell last Friday by requesting a trade. That's right, family. Micah Parsons, one of the best defensive ends in the league, might be on the Broncos' radar. But this story is far from simple. So let's break down every piece of this puzzle with the passion only Broncos Country has. First, let's talk about our team. In 2024, the Broncos' defense was simply unbelievable. We led the NFL with 63 sacks, leaving second-place Baltimore with 54 eating our dust. This is no joke. And who was one of the big engines driving this pressure machine? Nik Bonitto, our 25-year-old edge rusher, who had a dream season. The guy finished with 13.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 4 passes defended, and even a pick-six that electrified in Power Field at Mile High. He was a Pro Bowler, second-team All-Pro, and proved he's ready to be a star. Bonitto isn't just a player, he's a symbol of the new blood making our defense shine. Now, enter Micah Parsons. For those who aren't up to speed, let me paint the picture. This guy is an absolute phenom. At 26 years old, he already has 52.5 sacks in 4 seasons, is a 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, and a walking nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. Last Friday, he shook the NFL by requesting a trade from the Dallas Cowboys, and that set off alarms in Denver. The idea would be to send Bonitto, who's in the final year of his rookie contract, along with some draft picks, to bring Parsons to Broncos Country. It's the kind of move that could turn a good defense into a historic one. But at what cost? Let's analyze the Broncos side. Our defense is already one of the best in the league. With guys like Pat Surtain II holding down the secondary, Zach Allen and John Franklin Myers dominating the defensive line, and Jonathan Cooper bringing constant pressure, we're already causing havoc. But imagine adding Micah Parsons into that scheme. It would be like putting a shark in a goldfish bowl. Vance Joseph, our defensive coordinator, is a master of creating creative formations, and Parsons is the kind of player who can play edge, linebacker, or even cover slots in specific situations. He had 12 sacks and 23 QB hits in just 13 games in 2024, even with the Cowboys dealing with injuries and inconsistencies. With him opposite Cooper and Surtain locking down the backfield, our defense could be compared to the 2015 no-fly zone that won Super Bowl 50 with Von Miller leading the charge. But Broncos Country, let's be real. Losing Nik Bonitto wouldn't be easy. The guy is flying high. Since 2023, his sack rate per snap rivals NFL greats like T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, and Danielle Hunter. That's elite level, family. He's 25. The same age range as Parsons, and still has lots of room to grow. Plus, he fits perfectly into Vance Joseph's scheme. Bonitto is fast, instinctive, and has a nose for the quarterback that can't be taught. Last season, he not only led in sacks, but also scored 2 defensive touchdowns, including that pick-six against the Chiefs that made the crowd explode. He's one of ours, and seeing him shine on another team, especially a rival like Dallas, would be a tough blow to the heart. And then there's the money issue. Parsons is chasing a contract that could make history, something in the $35 to $40 million per year range. To compare, T.J. Watt signed for $41 million annually, and Myles Garrett is around $40 million. Meanwhile, Bonitto's base salary is $5.3 million in 2025, and an extension would probably be in the $23 to $25 million per year range. That's a huge difference for the salary cap, especially considering we already have big contracts with Pat Surtain II, Zach Allen, and others. With Russell Wilson's dead cap finally dropping in 2025, we have more flexibility. But is it worth betting so much on just one player? Or would it be better to invest in an extension for Bonitto and reinforce other areas, like the receiving core or offensive line, to better support Bo Nix? Speaking of Bo Nix, this rumor also impacts the offense. Our rookie quarterback is showing he could be the future of the franchise, and with him still on his rookie contract, we have a window of cap space to make aggressive moves. Bringing in Parsons could be the missing piece to turn the Broncos into a Super Bowl contender, especially in such a competitive division as the AFC West, where we face Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and even the Raiders with their ups and downs. But on the other hand, losing Bonitto and draft picks could limit our ability to bolster the offense, which still needs a top WR1 or more depth on the offensive line. What do you think, Broncos Country? Prioritize defense or balance the roster? And there's the draft capital side. Some proposals suggest that, besides Bonitto, we'd have to send a first-round pick, maybe even a second or third rounder along with it. That's a really high price, especially since our roster is already pretty well built. We have promising young players like Jonah Ellis and Dondrea Tillman rotating at edge rusher, who showed flashes of talent in 2024. Is it really worth giving up so much for one player, even if it's a guy like Parsons? Or do we trust the development of our young guys and keep Bonitto as a core piece? What do you think, Denver Broncos family? Would you pay that price or hold on to the picks for the future? Another point we can't ignore is Bonitto's mindset. In recent interviews, he made it clear he's focused on winning a championship. He said contract talks are with his agent, and his focus is on the field. That's a leader's mentality, Broncos Country. After a 13-sack season, he's hungry for more, and his chemistry with the team is undeniable. He grew up in the Broncos system, knows Vance Joseph's playbook better than anyone, and is starting to become a fan favorite. But he also knows his value. Edge rushers are getting paid huge contracts, and if the Broncos don't lock him down soon, another team could steal him in 2026. Do we risk losing him for nothing, or use him now as trade bait for a superstar? On the other hand, Micah Parsons is the kind of player you don't see every day. He's a game changer, a guy who forces double teams, collapses pockets, and changes the pace of the game. In 2024, even with a short 13-game season, he had 12 sacks, 23 QB hits, and an insane ability to create turnovers. He's the kind of player who can turn a good defense into a legendary one, like what we saw with Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, and company back in 2015. And with Sean Payton in charge, we know he likes bold moves. Remember when he brought in Russell Wilson? Yeah, Payton isn't afraid to take risks, and Parsons could be the next big move. But Broncos Country, let's be honest, this trade isn't just about numbers. It's about the heart of the team. Bonitto is becoming one of us, a guy who represents the grit of Broncos Country. Losing him would be like losing a piece of the family. At the same time, Parsons is the kind of player who can take us back to the top, where we belong. It's a choice between betting on the future with a young talent or going all in on a superstar who can change everything right now. George Paton and Sean Payton have a huge decision on their hands, and I know the fans are just as anxious as I am to see how it plays out. What about you, family? Would you trade Bonitto for Parsons or hold on to our guy? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because Broncos Country needs to speak up. Hey, Broncos Country, if you bleed orange and blue like us, don't wait. Subscribe to the channel right now so you don't miss any rumors, analyses, or epic moments from our Broncos. Just click the button below, hit the bell, and become part of the Denver Broncos family. Let's go on this journey to the Super Bowl together. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm passionate about what Benito is doing. The guy is a hurricane, hungry for victory, and still has a lot of room to grow. But Micah Parsons? He's one of those players who can change an entire franchise. If George Paton can bring him in without mortgaging the team's future, I think it's a bet worth making. But Broncos Country, losing Benito would hurt deeply in the heart. So which side are you on? Our guy or the superstar? Put it in the comments so we can debate. So, Denver Broncos family, what's the right move? Trade Benito for Parsons and go all in for a Super Bowl now? Or hold on to our young talent and build for the future? Leave your opinion in the comments because the voice of Broncos Country is what drives this team. Don't forget to leave that sneaky like, share the video with your fellow fans, and subscribe to stay updated on everything happening in Mile High. Until the next video, let's go Broncos!